Live from KSAT 12, the News at Noon starts right now.
New at noon, a San Antonio police officer arrested last month on a possession of child pornography charge, admitting as well to performing sexual acts with children as young as 3 years old.
That's coming to us from discipline records from Officer Albert Sanchez, obtained by KSAT Investigates this week. Sanchez was arrested January 11th on the felony charge and then suspended from SAPD without pay a day later. Investigators from his own department said they found explicit images of minors on his cell phone. A forensic download of Sanchez's communications, however, showed that he described these sex acts in multiple conversations with a woman last year, claiming he still had pictures from the incidents and might even have recordings. Sanchez is free on bond awaiting indictment in the child pornography case. He is also being investigated for possible sexual assault of a child, according to a search warrant affidavit. A brief argument between brothers led to a fatal stabbing back in 2021. The man charged with the murder of his brother, Angel Gonzalez, had his murder trial start just about an hour ago.
Gonzalez arrested days after he was accused of stabbing his brother Isaac Aguilar. A get-together was taking place for Gonzalez's birthday when Aguilar asked his brother to not say a derogatory comment toward another family member. The two, though, began tussling, and then Aguilar asked for 911 because he had been stabbed. Gonzalez fled the scene but was later charged with his brother's murder.
Testimony taking place right now is from those who were at that gathering and saw the murder take place. Erica Hernandez will have the latest on this trial and what was said by witnesses later this afternoon at 5.
We're going to take a look outside with live cam. Overcast today, but it looks like the sun might try to come out, Mia.
I think so. I think that's going to be the theme here over the next couple of hours. What a muggy start to the day, though. We had the cloud cover this morning, some areas of patchy fog. Temperatures responded by only dipping down into the 50s, so a bit warmer than what we were dealing with earlier this week. Take a look at temperatures right now, though, across the region, especially for areas that have seen a bit more sunshine a little bit earlier in the day. 70s already, 71 in Pleasanton, 73 in Carrizo Springs, Cotulla checking in at 76. Meanwhile, well off to our northwest junction in the low 80s. You can see we still have some of that cloud cover holding on along the Highway 90 corridor, especially here in San Antonio as well, where we're in the mid 60s. But I do think later on this afternoon, we're going to continue to see that cloud cover break up and more sunshine is going to take over. So by about 4 o'clock, mostly sunny skies, temperatures responding by climbing into the mid to upper 70s. So warm out there before we start to see those temperatures then drop into the 60s if you're stepping out for any of those evening plans. Winds a little bit on the breezy side out of the south-southeast at about 10 to 15 miles per hour. So that's going to be the theme today. Again, warm and muggy into this afternoon. Tomorrow, the humidity is still with us to kickstart our Thursday. So another round of some patchy fog is expected. But then we see a cool front move through. Not necessarily going to cool us down too terribly much. Really what it's going to do is sweep away the humidity. Drier air helping us climb into the 80s tomorrow. But into the weekend, a little bit cooler as we finally start to see some of that cooler air move into south central Texas. Again, lower humidity as well, so it will be pretty pleasant. We're going to get you all those details and time it out for you coming up a little bit later on, guys.
Thanks, Mia. A 22-year-old arrested this morning after a crash that turned violent last month. This is what we know right now. It happened a little before 5 p.m. back on January 20th on the city's northeast side. It happened on Mid-Crown Drive near Walls Road. Police say that a woman was trying to exchange information with Lamaray White after a crash. That's when White pulled out a gun, allegedly, stuck his hand out of the window, and allegedly started shooting at her. This morning, White was charged with aggravated assault with a deadly weapon.
Also in court, video of a head-on crash played for a jury in the trial of a man accused of causing a drunk driving accident. Christopher Del Toro is accused of driving drunk and causing a crash that killed 44-year-old Jessica Brill back in March of 2022. Prosecutors say Del Toro was twice the legal limit when he caused the head-on crash at the intersection of South Flores and Dickerson Avenue.
This defendant, Christopher Del Toro, was traveling northbound up South Flores, swerved into her lane, clear over the yellow lines, the median, impacted, head-on collision at a high rate of speed.
During opening arguments, Del Toro's attorney argued that Brill wasn't wearing a seatbelt and may have been drinking as well that night. If found guilty, Del Toro faces 2 to 20 years in prison. but because of his prior convictions, he could face even more time.
Bexar County District Attorney Joe Gonzalez pushing back on accusations that his relationship with a third-party criminal justice reform group impacted his decision-making on cases. Gonzalez was in Commissioner's Court yesterday. He was there to discuss a high-risk intake reduction plan. But Commissioner Grant Moody also asked the DA whether the Wren Collective influenced criminal charges here in Bexar County.
There's been some reporting locally about communications with the Wren Collective and other groups. Can you speak to that and make clear whether third-party groups are impacting charging decisions here in Bexar County?
I will tell you, and I will tell this entire court, that nobody makes decisions outside my office. I'm the one that makes those ultimate decisions. Nobody has any influence other than having had some messaging recommendations.
There's a lot more to this story. If you want a full breakdown on the relationship between the Wren Collective and the DA's office, just head over to KSAT.com and look for this article.
And a heads up for you folks who live in Elmendorf, or maybe you know somebody who does, there is another boil water notice in effect. We're told it's due to the continued repairs on the main water line, so folks in that area are asked to boil their water before using it for cooking or drinking. High school basketball playoffs, boys and girls, things getting a little rough and tough. It is the playoffs. We'll show you an elbow and what it can do coming up.
We've been talking a lot about the dangers of diabetes complications, but there is a lot you can do to be proactive about your health. What you can do to stay healthy. We're going to show you after the break.
February is Heart Awareness Month. According to the American Heart Association, cardiovascular disease is the leading cause of death here in the U.S.
And doctors say the best way to stay healthy is prevention. And that includes getting checked for hypertension and your cholesterol, as well as going to your doctor regularly.
Do that.
I gave you the eye.
Thank you. Yeah, I saw that. I felt it. And it's a good idea to exercise at least 30 minutes a day, 5 times a week.
Any kind of exercise, weightlifting, isometric exercises, walking, bicycle, as long as we do a certain degree of activity, that's always better than nothing.
Yeah, doctors also tell us that it is good to know your family history when it comes to heart disease.
And staying healthy. Speaking of which, doctors in Bexar County are saying that too many people in our community are losing their limbs because of complications with diabetes.
But there's a lot you can do to stay healthy and avoid those amputations. Of course, there's the standard advice: eat a healthy diet, exercise regularly, check your blood sugar, and take your medicine correctly. But doctors also recommend diabetes do 2 other things as well: check their feet and legs.
If your legs are heavy or swelling, or you see bulging veins, if you're starting to see discoloration, a lot of people start getting this dark brown. That's from red blood cells that have died in your leg because the veins couldn't move them back uphill to get oxygen.
The doctors say that treatment involves closing those bad veins so that they just shrivel up.
All right, you talked about health for the last 2 stories, so if you are ready to kickstart some healthy lifestyle changes, there's a lot of help for you right here in town.
Like the Diabetes Garage. Coordinators for this program say that you can think of it as a club. It is exclusively for men in Bexar County. Members gather for a series of free workshops over 4 weeks so they can learn how to prevent or manage diabetes. And if you want to register for one of these workshops, you can look for this story on our website, KSAT.com. You can also scan the QR code at the bottom of your screen, but it isn't the only option for folks who want some support.
There's also resources like Chef SA, a culinary health education program that teaches children and families basic nutrition and practical cooking skills. They offer classes and even have free recipes on their website, chefsa.org. We've done several stories with this organization in this program. The QR code there on your screen will take you to one of those stories, and there you're going to find links to the program's website.
Also on KSAT.com, our new series, it explores ways to get active that you may not even know about, including there's some walking groups around town. The premise, pretty simple: just people like you meeting up to get a little exercise, and they're free to join. The one on your screen, for instance, born out of a TikTok trend. The group is called City Girls Who Walk San Antonio. You can watch this story about these ladies on KSAT.com.
And how ironic, happening today, the first ever Harlandale Health Fest. It's taking place from 5 till 7 tonight at the Harlandale Memorial Stadium. It is a free community event, and it's going to feature energizing fitness classes, a community walk, engaging activities and booths, food trucks, and vaccinations for kids and adults. So there you go.
How can you avoid getting outside and getting some exercise when the temperatures are this comfortable right now?
Yep, a bit warm out there, but as we head into the afternoon, that's going to really be the big story. Temperatures ramping up, 70s expected today, and then a taste of spring tomorrow. We're in the 80s before we see our next front work in. By the way, that also moves in tomorrow, and will bring a little bit more of a mild air mass back into south central Texas for the weekend. Wish we had better news when it came to the aquifer, down 0.3 of a foot this Wednesday, 642.5, but decent news when it comes to the pollen count. Mold, ash, and mulberry are present, but they are all low. So yes, we'll talk about those temperatures, the ups and downs, and also a look at that front moving in tomorrow after the break.
La Semana Alegre is back. Anyone who went to Fiesta back in the 1980s and 90s probably remembers this. It was a downtown music festival that brought thousands of people to the heart of downtown.
Party! Organizers say the new La Semana will feature music from multiple genres in a 2-day event. It all kicks off on Thursday, April 25th at 5 o'clock, and then on Friday, April 26th, it'll start at noon right after the Battle of Flowers parade. Organizers are tapping into the nostalgia for location and ticket price.
It's time to bring La Semana Alegre, which in English means the joyous week. And with Fiesta coming up, it is appropriate and timely that we bring that sort of event back to Hemisphere to add the layer of music to our festivities at Hemisphere. The event will include multiple stages.
As he said, the festival is going to be held at its original location, although it's been fixed up since then, Hemisphere Park. There will be a limited number of tickets sold at $19.95 prices. That means you could get a ticket for $10 a day, and those tickets are already on sale.
We've got all that information for you on KSAT.com. You can also go to lasemanaalegre.com. $10? Is that how much it cost in 1995? Is that
for the day.
For the day?
Now the concerts are like, $300.
Yeah, depends on who it is.
All right. Question of the day over at SA Live.
You can watch them for free. You guys don't charge, do you?
What concert are you going to? And you're just buying one ticket?
Better seats than probably you, I'm imagining. We're talking Taylor Swift, man.
Well, speaking of purchases,
yes.
How about online purchases? What's the wildest online purchase you've ever made? Late at night with your glass of wine. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah.
Wow, they're stumped.
Wow.
This could get you in some serious trouble.
I don't. My wife does all the online purchasing. I don't know that I've probably bought like 3 things online.
Oh, way to bail out of that one, David.
Thank you.
Cash.
All right, Ursula.
Okay, you're putting me on the spot, so I'm going to just give an admission.
It's a family show.
Sometimes I get home from work and there's a package sitting on the stoop and I don't even remember what I ordered.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's the case with Amazon. My wife's going, what'd you order now? What'd you order now? Anyway, what about you?
Yeah, what?
Most unusual thing, yeah.
You'll find out in the show.
Oh,
yes. Scan that QR code and weigh in, and you may see your answer in SA Live from Historic Market Square.
Or give somebody else ideas on what to buy online, too. So you never know. All right.
Very
See you
thought-provoking
in a bit.
question. Neither one of us could answer it, but maybe Mia can.
Somebody can get in a lot of trouble.
I was thinking through that. I feel like it would have had to have been something for my dog. I just love to buy her more treats probably than anything else. That probably would have to be my answer.
I love those mystery packages, though. On the
They just
porch.
show up, you're like, wait a minute.
I don't remember ordering that.
I have to ask my wife all the time, why is there a box up front? Oh, let me think.
Gotta remember, yeah. Or the worst one is when there's multiple packages.
Yeah.
And you gotta hide them, right, at some point, so your significant other doesn't know that you bought so many packages. Exactly. All right, so a muggy start to this Wednesday. That was the theme this morning. Because of that, we had areas of patchy fog, some reduced visibility, and of course, the low-level cloud cover. You can see, though, as we take a look at visibility right now, in terms of where we had that denser fog, it is pretty much lifted on out of here, but we are still dealing with some of the cloud cover. That's also going to break up a bit more, though, throughout the remainder of the afternoon. The reason why, you're looking at it, elevated dew points, how we measure the moisture in the lower levels of the atmosphere in the 60s. You can feel that moisture when you step outside. Actually, we're about 5 to 10 degrees above where we were this time yesterday, which just essentially means, yes, it's a bit more muggy out there. We've got more of the moisture in the air. That's going to be the theme today and to start our Thursday as well. But then we're going to see a weak front work through south central Texas tomorrow, and that's really just going to sweep out the humidity. So we're expecting drier air to return by tomorrow afternoon. That's also what's going to help crank those temperatures up tomorrow afternoon, before we finally start to see slightly more mild air work back into the region as well. So I want to talk about that, the frontal passage tomorrow and what we can expect going forward. You can see right now we're just dealing with the cloud cover. Winds out of the southeast helping that moisture pump back in. In fact, over the last 20 minutes, way more sunshine starting to return just to the west of San Antonio. Again, that will be the theme for us here over the next couple of hours in the Alamo City. As we zoom this out, we've got high pressure and control. A lot of the energy just being deflected off to our north around this high pressure system. But as we take a look closer to the Four Corners region, there is a little bit more activity out there on the radar. This is thanks to an area of low pressure that has that cool front associated with it. Behind it, even a little bit of snow as you get into the higher elevations near the Rockies, near Salt Lake City, even stretching up to Casper, Wyoming. Nothing like that expected here. In fact, unfortunately, we don't even have any rain chances in the forecast with this front. But take a look at temperatures behind it. You can definitely spot where that cooler air is in place. It is 38 degrees right now in Casper, 41 in Salt Lake City, 53 in Las Vegas, and 60 degrees right now over in LA. Watch what happens as we advance this on in time. This front is going to continue to work eastward, approaching the state of Texas by 10 p.m. tonight. It's already starting to move through the Texas Panhandle and far west Texas. Before it can get here, remember, tomorrow morning it will be a muggy start, 5, 6, 7 o'clock in the morning. For the morning drive, give yourself a little bit of extra time out the door. We are expecting another round of that patchy fog to develop. But then here comes that front, sweeps out the humidity, drier air, and sunshine is going to return into tomorrow afternoon. So the drier air comes first, which is what's going to help those temperatures climb into the spring-like 80s by tomorrow afternoon. Then slightly cooler air works in for Friday, Saturday, Sunday, high temperatures topping off in the 70s. So we'll continue to keep eyes on that. Again, that temperature roller coaster just continuing, especially after the cooler start to the week that we saw a few days ago. 66 degrees right now, still the cloud cover in place here in San Antonio. 69 on the south side over at Stinson. It's 67 in New Braunfels, 72 now out west in Uvalde, where we're starting to see a bit more blue sky take back over. I am anticipating those temperatures to top off at least in the mid 70s here in San Antonio this afternoon. Maybe a few upper 70s for those that tap into some sunshine a bit earlier this afternoon there as well. Then if you're stepping out for any evening plans, we'll gradually see those thermometers fall into the 60s. But that's about it with that humidity. So again, a muggy start tomorrow, low 60s. And then some chillier mornings, especially by Saturday with that drier air in place. David, you can see, unfortunately, no rain chances on the 7-day. We're going to get you a little bit more of a breakdown into why it's a dry weather pattern coming up in the next half hour.
All right, look forward to that, as if we haven't seen enough dry weather patterns over the last 3 years.
Exactly.
Thank you, Mia. High school basketball getting to the real serious level since we are getting deep into the playoffs. And a Lady Longhorn making a little history for UT coming up.
Yeah.
Oh, this is why we love Wednesdays in February. High school hoop playoffs. Clark girls taking on Steele, the Class 6A regional quarterfinals. This was a good battle at the Davenport Gym. First quarter on the fast break. Here we go. Steele's Jasmine Travis is going to lay one in off the glass for you. There we go. Where's she? There she is. Oh, that's easy. Nice little fast break right there. Clark still up 3. Adding to it, inbound pass to Ariana Roberson. Look at this. Catch it, shoot it. never touched the floor. That's why she's one of the best around. A point game at halftime, third quarter. Clark's Cameron Griffin getting the tough down low in the paint and got the one. Later in the third, Clark's star point guard Natalie Huff takes an elbow to the nose. Ouch! Told you this was a tough battle. Final minute of the game. She's all right. She's tough. Cougars up 2. Robertson clutch block. Forces Steele to foul, and Huff nails her free throws to put the Cougars up by 4. So Steele's last second triple coming up here in just a second is not going to really matter, even though it's good. Clark advances to 6A bracket with 41-40 victory over the Knights. Still alive to defend their title. Couldn't have done it without Natalie Huff's toughness.
She's a very tough point guard. Nat, that's what she's known for. She's a tough little girl. When she got hit, we didn't want to get scrambled, can't get frantic out there, so we had to keep our composure, play our game still. We knew that she would be back because she's a tough one, and that's what she did, and she hit those game-winning free throws for us, so it was big.
Ouch. She'll be all right. The nightcap game, East Central boys taking on Reagan in the 6A by-district championship. First quarter, Reagan 6-foot, 7-inch guard. Aiden Richard just blows past the defense, hits the floater. Hornets with a quick answer, though. At the other end, it's Jacob Stewart pulls up and rattles in the triple. This game went down to the final possession, but in the end, East Central is buzzing away with the win, 42-40, advancing in the 6A bracket. I think by 35 to UT women's basketball forward Madison Booker is just the second player to sweep the Big 12 weekly awards in the last decade. Booker was named the Big 12 Player and Freshman of the Week, scoring in double figures in 16 straight games, averaging 20.5 points, 4 rebounds, 7 assists on the 5th-ranked team in the country, by the way. UT's women's basketball head coach Vic Schaefer says Booker may be 18 years old, but she has the presence of a 25-year-old out there on the court.
Pretty special, but we all know, we've been watching it all year. The kid is really special, and think our team has really embraced her and her role and the responsibility that she has, and they're all doing their part to help her along, and she's just gotten more and more comfortable as the season's gone on, and I think that's evident in her play. And so we'll get ready for a tough ball game tomorrow night.
Yeah, she'll be ready. Tonight, the UT Longhorns face Texas Tech. It's the second time they'll match up this season. Texas won the first 74-47. Longhorns are preparing for an improved Red Raiders team thus far into the season. However, Tech was held to just 32 by the 21st ranked Baylor Bears. So
I noticed you said that with, like kind of under your breath a little bit.
Lady Raiders are struggling.
I get it. Okay, do you have one of these viral Stanley Cups? Well, they're now at the center of a lawsuit. Why customers are worried that the mugs could pose a risk to their health. The end of a search for an 11-year-old girl in Houston, a tragic ending, her body found in a river.
CNN's Rosa Flores with the man now charged in that case, but there are still a lot of questions about what happened.
I sadly announced that Audrey's body was located at the Trinity River on the U.S. Highway 59.
6 days of searching, praying, hoping, ends with a grim discovery. Authorities say cell phone analysis as well as video and social media helped them to pinpoint her location. The spot was also one of several given to authorities by Don Stephen McDougal. Audrey was last seen in this Livingston, Texas neighborhood about 70 miles northeast of Houston at about 7 a.m. Thursday, state police say. But she never got on the bus and never made it to school that day. McDougal lives on the Cunningham family's property. The Polk County Sheriff says they believe McDougal was the last person to see her and says he admits to leaving the house with her Thursday morning around 7 a.m.
And they would have made it to the bus stop, which is relatively just a little under a mile in the same community, real close.
Did anyone see her at that bus stop? No other witnesses saw her at the bus stop. Sheriff Lyons says when Audrey was reported missing and the community started searching, McDougal joined in, appearing to help.
He just happened in her search.
What does that tell you?
Well, I mean, to me, it simply tells me is that he's trying to give the appearance is that he has no play or he's not at fault in her disappearance, and that I am part of the concerned parties who are trying to locate her.
Do you believe that?
No, I don't.
Sheriff Lyons took CNN to the area where authorities recovered a key clue in Audrey's disappearance. He says authorities located the girl's bright red Hello Kitty backpack near this dam Friday.
Just a little west of us here.
Was it in the water?
No, it was along the riverbank. There was enough in it to lead us to believe strongly that it is Audrey's backpack.
That it was hers. What about signs of struggle or blood or any other DNA?
No, ma'am. There was no signs of struggle there.
11-year-old Audrey has touched the hearts of many, including law enforcement in this community. Have you cried over this?
Several nights, several days. Yeah. It's I have kids of my own. I feel that pain that they're feeling.
Don Stephen McDougal charged with capital murder. Meantime, Audrey's body is being transported to the Harris County Medical Examiner's Office for an autopsy, which should shed some more light on how that little girl died. Very upsetting.
Investigators say more shooters will face charges for deadly violence at a Chiefs Super Bowl victory rally. Prosecutors say they've charged 2 men with murder, but they won't stop there. Now, the 2 men are Dominic Miller and Lyndall Mays. They both face charges of second-degree murder, 2 counts of armed criminal action, and unlawful use of a weapon. According to the Jackson County prosecutors, Jean Peters Baker, the woman who was killed was allegedly hit by a bullet from Miller's gun. Court documents say the men were strangers, got in some kind of argument, pulled out weapons, and started shooting. Court officials have already told us about charges against 2 juveniles. They're accused of resisting arrest and firearms violations. Investigators say they're gathering evidence to go after more suspects.
Hunter Biden's attorneys trying to get tax charges against him in California dismissed. The defense attorneys arguing that the special counsel was unlawfully appointed and that Hunter Biden's rights were violated by IRS whistleblowers. The president's son charged with 9 counts over an alleged scheme to not pay $1.4 million in taxes from 2016 to 2019. He's pleading not guilty to the charges, and a hearing for those pre-trial motions are set for March 27th. Meantime, this video, Biden's uncle and the president's brother grilled in a closed-door interview over the impeachment inquiry into the president. James Biden's testimony this morning centers on whether he was involved in his family's foreign business dealings with Chinese companies. Republicans are expected to decide whether to pursue impeachment articles following the interviews with Biden family members.
Those applying for American citizenship can expect higher fees for the process. On April 1st, the cost of the application to naturalize will go up about 19%. The cost of a permanent resident card, the first step to citizenship, will jump as well. The naturalization application costs $640 for the paper application, $725 with the fingerprint fee as of now, but the cost both of those forms jump to $760 on April 1st. Immigration attorneys are urging all who are planning to apply for citizenship to consider submitting an application before April 1st when those costs rise.
Those popular Stanley Cups may contain lead. That's why customers are now suing the company. They claim the company failed to disclose that their tumblers contained lead. Stanley says it's in the sealing material used to secure insulation around the base. And the company says it's not anywhere that would come in contact with consumers. There have been no official reports of health complications, by the way, caused by these tumblers.
If I don't see him and I hear the word Stanley, I always think of the Stanley Cup from the hockey championship. Like,
an interesting name, right?
Yeah. Like, maybe they're playing off that somehow.
And today it would keep your beverages cool.
Yes, I would keep them chilled. This morning went for an iced coffee option instead of the hot coffee because it was a little warm out there. Starting to see some peaks of sunshine, which you just saw out there on live cam, helping those temperatures warm up into the afternoon. 68 now here in San Antonio, out on the west side near Port SA. already approaching that 70-degree mark. 71 in Castroville. Devine has warmed to 74. So remember, these temperatures and numbers just going to rise even more so as even more sunshine returns into the south central Texas sky over the next several hours. So mid to upper 70s expected officially here in the Alamo City. And then we'll start to see those thermometers fall into the 60s for any Wednesday evening plans. It's possible, especially along and south of Highway 90, maybe even far out west too, we could see some 80s out there into this afternoon. That's about 10 degrees above the average for this time of year. Even warmer. We are expecting 80s here in town by tomorrow after we see some patchy morning fog. Then drier air quickly works in behind a weak front, helping those temperatures rise. Then after that, we'll see some dry air work in for the remainder of the week and even into the start of next weekend. So some chilly mornings return, especially by Saturday, and comfortable afternoons. So we'll get you another look at that full breakdown of the forecast coming up a little bit later on. We'll be right back.
Take a look at this. A stuffed animal being controlled by a robotic arm. The surgeons control the robot. The arm is known as Da Vinci, and this is happening down at Christus Children's Hospital.
And I control the whole robot through a separate area that I sit over in the other side of the operating room. So a lot of people worry that the robot is going to do the surgery itself. No, the surgeon does the surgery with the robotic technology.
This demonstration was designed for children who must undergo surgery. So what's the benefit of having it done by a robot? According to surgeons at Christus, there's less pain and recovery time is quicker. I just had robotic surgery with a Da Vinci arm, and I can vouch for that.
My concern is, what was the stuffed animal? What was its name? And who does it belong to?
Well,
who's missing a stuffed animal?
We've fallen down on the job, haven't we?
I guess.
Like, man, poor little guy.
Dave's got questions.
Those answers stat. Yeah, exactly. All right. Well, more sunshine this afternoon. We're already at 68, which is pretty close to the average of 69 for this time of year. By the way, you want to talk about a month of ups and downs? February 1996, the record for today, 100 degrees. And we set that 28 years ago. By the way, meteorologist Justin Horn wrote a whole article specifically on that. That's up at KSAT.com on our Whatever the Weather page. Definitely go check that out. We're going to talk about those temperatures and also why we don't have any notable rain chances in the forecast. That's coming up.
So the rodeo's winded down. The weather's been really good for the rodeo. And then there's this other huge event right around the corner.
And that one is more weather dependent than the rodeo. The rodeo will always go on, but the eclipse, that's another story.
It's definitely going to be one we're going to need to monitor cloud cover more than anything, I think, especially as we get closer to Monday, April 8th. The countdown is certainly on. We are 47 days away from the total solar eclipse. Yes, that path of totality moving through northwestern Bexar County and especially up into the hill country. Here's your eclipse fact of the day. Eagle Pass will actually be the first city in the United States to experience totality as that moves up from the southwest. So pretty cool fact there, especially considering it'll be moving through our region. So we'll definitely keep you posted on that. And of course, the forecast as we get closer to April 8th, bringing you more fun facts as well in the days to come. All right, weather headlines today, warm and muggy into this afternoon, upper 70s expected in many locations, maybe a few low 80s, especially the farther south and west that you go. Again, some patchy morning fog yet again is expected first thing tomorrow morning. Then we see that weak front arrive. Drier air will help those temperatures climb into the 80s for us here in San Antonio tomorrow. Then as we head into the weekend, we'll finally start to see some more of that mild air push back in. So some cooler mornings followed by comfortable afternoons. But unfortunately, no rain chances in the forecast, at least over the next several days. And I want to talk about specifically why this is. You can see off to our south, centered over Mexico, this big area of of high pressure, and with where the winds are in the upper levels of the atmosphere, that rain-making energy is just being deflected around the state of Texas for the most part. But it's possible about 7 days from now, the middle of next week, maybe we'll see another front move in. That combined with some additional moisture, maybe a few isolated showers possible. Pretty dry until then. We'll call it about a 20% potential as we head into that midweek time frame next week. Something to definitely check back in on in the days ahead. Here's a look at some rainfall statistics for you. Since the first of the month, under 9/10 of an inch for us here in the Alamo City. That's about 3/10 of an inch below where we should be for this time of the month. But with the rain that we saw in January, actually doing pretty well, all things considered, from the first of the year. Over 7.5 inches, which is above where we should be for this point in 2024. So good news there. Hopefully we can see a little bit more of a pattern change in the weeks to come. See that weather get a little bit more active so we can continue to chip away at the drought and add on to those rainfall totals. No rain out there right now, but the cloud cover is dissipating. In fact, now northern Bexar County, even out west, starting to see more of that sunshine. That is definitely the theme along Highway 90 and closer to the Rio Grande. Again, 68 degrees right now here in town, 76 in Kennedy, 77 now in Carrizo Springs, 70 out west in Del Rio. Throughout the remainder of the day, we will see more of that sunshine take back over. Mid to upper 70s expected for those forecast highs, and then we'll start to see those thermometers fall back into the 60s later on tonight. Mostly cloudy skies taking back over as well as we start to see more of that moisture once again pump back in. So that's going to lead to some areas of patchy morning fog by 7 a.m. tomorrow for the morning drive. Expecting a little bit more of that to develop, but then we see that front move through. The humidity gets pushed out back into the Gulf, and more of that sunshine is going to take back over as well. In terms of your temperatures, 80s tomorrow, but then that milder air works in. So some cooler mornings Saturday, 47. You'll want the light jacket there, but warming up nicely into the 70s. Then it's possible we could see more spring-like weather with 80s in the forecast again as we head into early next week.
This Rodeo Remembers, powered by your San Antonio area Chevy dealers.
The word rodeo is Spanish for roundup, and the sport we know today wouldn't exist without the horses and the cattle brought by the Spanish conquistadores. It all began in 1519 when the first 16 horses were brought to Mexico by Hernán Cortés, but he forgot something. His men desired the riches of the New World, but they also desired the beef of the Old World. After conquering the Aztecs in 1521, beef became a top priority for the Spanish, and in that same year, an importer named Gregorio de Villalobos brought the first cattle to Mexico. In the following years, Cortés became governor of New Spain, and soon more Spanish began arriving with more horses and cattle. Eventually, Cortés established a major stock breeding program not far from modern-day Mexico City. The mixing of cultures and the New World's unique landscape forced ranching to evolve, and those new skills led to charro culture and the foundation upon which the rodeo is built.
This Best of Mutton Busted, powered by your San Antonio area Chevy dealers.
Big shot. What? They give us the question of the day, but then they give us the food of the day.
I know.
A little nervous.
You know, it's been a while since they brought food to the set.
Yeah, that too.
We had to save something
for now.
Yes, we do. And joining us right now is Elizabeth Martinez of Naco Mexican Eatery and Naco Grayson. And what is he making right now?
He's going to be making some shrimp a la diabla taco.
Ooh.
Okay,
and you're all about tacos, right?
We're all about tacos, chilaquiles, and tortas. But honestly, the bestseller, San Antonio loves tacos.
Okay. So what makes yours so special?
We are an all-natural ingredient restaurant. Everything is made from scratch. Nothing comes from a can. Nothing comes frozen. Everything is just
authentic,
all authentic, made grandma's way.
Morning till night, 3 weeks in a row, you can have a different taco there, just
Yes.
about. So,
Yes. All right, and if you're, in the mood to spend some money, what is the wildest online purchase you've ever made? Scan that QR code and weigh in. We'd love to hear it.
Maybe you'll give us some ideas. So, all right, speaking of online purchases, insider deals. Of course, these are always some great deals. That's going to be, ooh, it looks like something high tech. Oh, I think I want that.
Yes.
I wonder how much it is.
You're so techie. I know. All right. And of course, hey, the rodeo's last week, right?
Yes. Coming up here, and great weather for it, too.
So we are going to have a little wrap up of what you can check out.
And we are going to meet Miss Black San Antonio and some of the contestants and tell you all about the big pageant coming up. That and a whole lot more on SA Live. Stick around.